We're here really to focus on developments in the commercial data privacy arena. Generally, for the Obama administration, we have put a major emphasis on preserving and expanding the open internet environment, both in the United States and also around the world, working with allies and trading partners, trying to make sure that we can extend the benefits of the internet environment as far as possible. It's been pointed out often that we have about 1.5 billion people online in one way or the other today. It's a tremendous accomplishment given the rapid rate of deployment around the world as compared to other communications technologies, and we think that's really a testament to the openness of the technology environment and the openness of the regulatory environment that has generally prevailed in the internet. And it's something that we work on daily to preserve and extend both in the United States and around the world. But it's also, by virtue of the fact that we have 1.5 billion people online, it suggests we have 5.5 billion people, roughly speaking, who are not yet online. So we think we're really at the very beginning of the process of connecting the world to itself and to all the resources that the internet has to offer. We looked around the world and recognized that while many of our major trading partners, the European countries, the OECD countries, have privacy rules that are bound by really a common set of principles. The 1980 OECD guidelines are the basis for many of the current US privacy statutes. They're the basis for the European Data Protection Directive, and really the gold standard for privacy principles around the world. We recognize that there's a fair amount of unity in the way that privacy is understood at a principle level, but that the way that those principles are implemented varies considerably around the world. This may be due to cultural differences, it may be due just to differences in the regulatory styles of different legal systems around the world. But given the global nature of the internet environment, it's our goal to develop a greater sense of global interoperability of these different privacy systems that are bound by a common set of principles, but do indeed have different implementation and enforcement mechanisms. We think that despite the differences that are pointed out, that are sometimes drawn in very stark contrast in a certain way, that there actually has been considerable progress over the last 10 years in building bridges, in building interoperability relationships between privacy systems around the world, and our goal is to accelerate that effort. We've had very productive dialogue over the last year with our colleagues here in Brussels and with a number of the member states on how to do that. We think that we are at a unique moment in the history of modern privacy protection, in that, obviously, as you know, the European Union is got the books open on its privacy directive, and we have in the United States really a very substantial interest in how we strengthen the United States commercial data privacy system. In some part, in response to the Privacy and Innovation Green Paper that our administration put out last year, we've seen a very active congressional debate, both in the Senate and the House, both with Democrats and Republicans, about how to strengthen the U.S. commercial data privacy system. We're very encouraged by the fact that we see, again, both houses of Congress, both parties looking very actively at the question of how to update our privacy environment, really with the dual goal of making sure that consumers have the protections that they need, and that U.S. businesses have certainty about what rules they're expected to follow. There's a series of hearings going on now in the U.S. House of Representatives, led by the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Of course, that committee is controlled by the Republican majority in the House, so they're taking a very careful look at the issue. We've had debate over the last year in the Senate, and we expect that will continue. In the coming months, the White House will release a white paper on commercial data privacy, which will update and really finalize our administration position on privacy protection along the lines that I outlined. We're still finishing it up, but it's in a relatively advanced state. That will be the basis for a discussion with Congress about what kind of privacy legislation we as an administration would want to support. And it will certainly also be the basis for continued discussions with the EU on how to build this interoperability relationship.